Bye week. It is now in the rearview mirror for the Dallas Cowboys. It is a straight marathon from here on out in the regular season, and the Cowboys at 3-3 have an opportunity this week against the San Francisco 49ers to make a statement that they are not going anywhere in terms of the NFC East race. As we welcome you into Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us. The bye week is a huge week for the Cowboys, self-scouting, an ability to get healthy. But, Barry, what's the number one thing you want to see out of this team now that the bye is in the rearview mirror?
Well, Carl, I'd like to see a fast start. You know, just a team that looks prepared out there and is not shocked at what the other team is trying to do to them schematically.
I'd like to see, on the offensive side of the ball, I want to see the creativity. I want to see Coach McCarthy get in his bag earlier, start doing pre-snap motions, formation changes, personnel changes, change things up offensively. And then defensively, you just got to see these guys communicate and be effective. We just haven't seen it consistently yet.
Defensively, I want to see them bring a safety down in the box and stop the run. Get these guys around about 3.5 a carry. And if we can put that eighth man in the box and stop the run and rely on Brock Purdy to win this game, that's what I like to see.
And I feel like if I would have asked that question to any Cowboys fans, one of the things that they would say would be, I want to see them get healthy. I want to see this team and some of their better players back on the field. So here's an update on a couple of those guys, starting with Micah Parsons and company. Parsons, hopeful early in the week, saying that he's unsure of his status. It's going to look a little bit interesting. But do you expect to see Micah Parsons back out there this week, Isaiah?
That's a negative, Ghost Rider. I don't expect to see Michael Parsons out there. I think they're going to take their time with him. Hopefully they can get in a good position with this season where he can be effective later on.
Yeah, I don't expect to see him out there as well. I mean, you got a long season still ahead of you, and you want your best player out there for the stretch run, especially at the end of the season. So I do not expect Parsons to go out there this weekend.
I agree with these guys because if he's not explosive and getting off the edge, there's no need.
Yeah, and if of course, he's anything under 100%, you need him for that marathon that we just talked about. There's a long season still ahead. Same can be said for Deron Bland at the cornerback spot. It looked like, at least going into that Week 6 matchup against Detroit, he could play. He practiced as a full participant on Wednesday and Thursday, but did not practice that Friday. He also did not practice earlier in the week until the Thursday practice that the Cowboys had here at the Star in Frisco. So, Nate, how important would it be to get Deron Bland back in the fold?
It'd be nice. I mean, it gives you another all-pro corner out there to do his thing. But you know what? I'd rather be safe and careful so when this guy do come back, he can be full speed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Nate. I think it would be great to have him back out there so you can have two bookend corners out there. But overall, it just depends on how this guy looks in practice. I mean, running in a straight line is one thing, but you got to be able to guard these receivers, breaking from angles and having to react to what they can do. If he's able to withstand those reactions, then we can see him out there. If not, then we got to go with someone else.
He's the interception return king. He had all those touchdowns, Isaiah, last year. It's something that, of course, the Cowboys would love to have just as an element for another offense to have to worry about. And speaking of offense, they've got one coming up against them this week in the San Francisco 49ers. Missing some key pieces, but they still have Jordan Mason and company that can have some success. We'll talk about the entire offense, the entirety of this San Francisco matchup when we come back with more Special Edition.
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
We're having an awesome event with our veterans here at our Salvation Army Copper Collins Shelter, and partnership with Lucas Oil and the Lucas family, and of course the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, well, you know, it's always great to come down to the Salvation Army and our community, and especially with veterans, helping out the people that have laid it out on the line for us. And anytime you can give back to a group of guys and men and women that have you know, kind of laid it all on the line, it's pretty special. And obviously partner with Lucas Oil and all that they do in the communities across the country is pretty cool.
Awesome stuff, as always, between the Dallas Cowboys, Zach Martin specifically in that clip, the Salvation Army, and, of course, our nation's veterans. As we welcome you back in to Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, and Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Gentlemen, We've got ourselves a matchup this week. The Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers from Levi's Stadium, Sunday Night Football. These two teams have gone at it so many times throughout their franchise's history. This one feels a little bit different because both teams are banged up significantly. But I want to talk about who is available for the San Francisco side of things. Barry, I'll start with you. Brock Purdy is without a number of his weapons, including his top 3 wide receivers. How much does that change things up front?
Well, it does change things when you talk about Brock Purdy. I mean, this is a quarterback, in my opinion, who's been up and down pretty much this entire year. Like you just said, Cal, he hasn't had the slew of all-stars that he's used or accustomed to playing with without having the wide receiver Deebo Samuel, without having Ayuk for the majority part of this season. But to me, the key to slowing this guy down is you got to keep him within the pocket. Kyle Shanahan loves to do those bootlegs out there, extending plays for his wide receivers to get open. If you watched that Kansas City game last week, they were able to contain him within the pocket and force him to be a pocket passer. And they took great advantage of that with 3 interceptions. So to me, you got to keep this guy within the pocket, and I think you can take advantage of him.
Yeah, Barry's absolutely correct. For whatever reason, he thinks that he's a running quarterback this year, so he likes to get out and break containment. But he is a top 3 quarterback in terms of passing this year, so you have to respect the fact that he's doing that statistically. But in terms of all his weapons kind of going down, obviously with injury, he is going to be looking for his man, George Kittle. George Kittle is usually a blocking tight end for the most part, but we know he's fully capable of receiving. And with these receivers going down, please believe he's going to be the man he's looking for consistently and often.
In this offense, Brock Purdy is a guy that has been decisive. He makes good decisions, but with the new receivers, with the guys going down and with the new receivers, he's not been decisive. And that's why he had the 3 interceptions. People are not where they're supposed to be, so that makes him hold the ball a little bit longer than they want to. He already holds it around 3 seconds, but now this thing is leaking over 3 seconds and 0.2, 0.3, and that's hurting him.
And you talked about Jawan Jennings, Deebo Samuel. You've got Brandon Ayuk, who's now on IR for the rest of the season. He's done as well. But George Kittle was also on the injury report. He did not practice on Wednesday with a DNP. So lots of things to keep in mind whenever it comes to the passing game. But you do have a running back that can run the football in Jordan Mason as well. Isaiah, you're going to break him down on Film Room here in a little bit. So, Nate, I'll start with you here. Jordan Mason, what does he do well up front?
Everything. He can run, he's tough, he's physical. My hat's off to John Lynch and to the head coach. They go out and find guys every year, no matter who it is or what it is, they go out and find a Mason every year.
Yeah, well, Mason Jar, whatever you want to call him. Listen, this dude is tried and true, okay? This dude is, I don't care where he was drafted at. He's fast, physical, smart, and decisive. He's a man that you definitely need to know where he's at all times.
Yeah, when I look at Mason, to me, it reminds me of a young Marshawn Lynch. Just the way that they're able to run physical, downhill, one cut. They know exactly where they want to go, and they're seeking out contact. This is a guy, he can make you miss, but he can also run through your chest as well. And when you look at that Shanahan run system, it's a lot of different variations. So this front 7 for the Dallas Cowboys is going to have to be on their keys, or Mason could have a big day.
Yeah, front 7's going to have to play well for Dallas. Same thing can be said for San Francisco, a team that, despite some of their injuries up front, without Javon Hargrave and a couple guys like that, they still have Nick Bosa and they still have Fred Warner. Barry, this is still a very dangerous defensive unit from San Francisco. What have you seen out of their film throughout the year that gives you a little bit of pause with this Cowboys offense?
Well, you just said it. Those 2 guys right there, Bosa and Warner. When you have those 2 all-stars, one on the defensive line, one on the second level, your defense will always be in contention. It'll give you a chance to win. Bosa still has that motor off of the edge. He can still make quarterbacks see ghosts out there and have happy feet, so you got to take care of him. But when you got that quarterback of the defense and Warner on that second level, lining everybody up, being able to be as great a cover linebacker as he is against a run, that defense will always have success. So you got to make sure you know where those 2 are at all times.
It's tough to keep them in check. I mean, Fred Warner had a phenomenal game last year, a couple interceptions,
Yes.
He had a sack. He was all over the place for Mike McCarthy as a play caller. That was a 42-10 San Francisco win. This is a different team this year with some different weapons, and we alluded to it a moment ago. Jordan Mason has been fantastic running the football. Isaiah Stanback, when we come back, shows how Kyle Shanahan is using his backup running back to be one of the best in the NFL here in 2024.
This segment was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
So the Cowboys taking on the 49ers this week. The 49ers will be without Christian McCaffrey. He is still suffering from an injury earlier in the campaign. He's on the injured reserve list, and still something that the Cowboys will have to look out for, though, is the running game. They go out and they get this undrafted free agent, Jordan Mason, who's become kind of a name in the NFC because they continue to run the ball effectively. Isaiah Stanback, take me to the film. Why can San Francisco run with this guy right here?
Well, C-Mac's not there. We should be perfectly fine, right, Kyle?
Easy money, right?
No, there's a dude by the name of Jordan Mason, like you just heard Kyle say. Number 24, whenever you see him on the field, you better identify exactly where he's at. And not only is his offensive line creating holes for him, but he is a physical downhill running back. Let's go ahead and take a peek. All right, as we snap the ball, you're going to see all these offensive linemen get up on their guys. All right, boom, 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 pause it right there. Man on. Boom, kicking him out, getting up to the next level, getting up here. Everybody's doing their job. But is that enough for him? No, no, no. Put his foot in the ground, get vertical, and then if you want to stick your arm out like this gentleman right here, whoop, not enough. That's 1 tackle miss. Whoop, that's 2 tackles miss. Whoop, that's 3 tackles miss. Spin out of it. I'm going to continue to run. Nope, I'm not done yet. I want more. Give me more. Witherspoon, nope, you need more people. And I'm going to run out of bounds right here. Nah, I'm going to give you a stiff arm. I want to go back in bounds and get some more contact. This guy is a physical running back. Yes, you're missing C-Mac, but this dude right here, in case y'all didn't know, is the number 2 running back in the league right now, only behind Derrick Henry and ahead of somebody named Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he's been pretty good this year as well. But the thing about Jordan Mason is he runs behind his pads. And what that means is you're patient and you're balanced all the way through. You let things happen in front of you, and then you attack it with a mindset. How does he do that on this play?
Yeah, well, now we're going to go straight from the physicality of the running back. We're going to go to the physicality of the blocking scheme. And you're going to see this offensive guard pull out and get on the edge, and you're going to see the center get out on the edge. That is what we call a power scheme. And when you have the power scheme and you have the offensive line that the San Francisco 49ers have, it doesn't matter who is in the backfield. It doesn't matter if it's C-Mac. It doesn't matter if it is Jordan Mason. You guys are going to see these guys come up, seal block here, seal block here, seal block here. He's going to come up and find some work. And then what you're going to have is Jordan Mason having a hole, and anybody is going to be able to run through the hole that you guys see present. Boop, there it is right there. Now he's off to the running. It doesn't matter if it's C-Mac. It doesn't matter if it's Jordan Mason. It doesn't matter if it's Kyle Yeomans. It doesn't matter. Anybody can go back there and tote the rock when you have holes that are generated like that.
It would have been 12 carries, 151 yards, and 2 tutties for me. And behind that offensive line, easy money all day. Now, it's not just what the offensive line can do. Of course, I wouldn't actually run for 161 and 2 tutties. Jordan Mason is a specimen in the fact that he is so balanced. I talked about running behind the pads, but I love the low center of gravity and the way he's able to bounce off of tacklers.
Correct.
They trust him to evade defenders. How do they do it here?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're going to see here on this particular blocking scheme is everybody do their job. Again, who do you need to be concerned about? Number 24, Jordan Mason. Now, what are they going to do to put him in a good situation? Not only is he going to be a physical running back, he's going to be a back that can utilize his speed. Let's go ahead and play it through. So you're going to see the motion come across. They do a lot of pre-snap motions. Everybody gets up on their man again. You guys can see it right now. Pause it. Boom, right here. I'm kicking my man out. Dietrich Wise, nope, you can't get there either. I'm going to seal this man, seal, got my man. Everybody's doing their job in terms of getting their blocking assignments. And who do you see coming in? Brandon Ayuk. Obviously, it's not somebody you got to worry about. I want to send prayers up to him in his rehab. But he's coming in here as the receiver and cracking back on the safety. Who does that leave for Mr. Jordan Mason? Well, let's play it through a little bit more. Right? Boom, pause it right there. As Brandon Ayuk comes up, he comes up and gets a big hit on the safety. Now, the only man that Mr. Jordan Mason has to be concerned about is the cornerback. In this particular example is going to be Mr. Gonzalez, right, out of here, out of DFW himself. But they are leaving the cornerback for him. Now, you expect Mr. Gonzalez to be able to come down and make a tackle. He's a fast defensive back, runs a 4.4. No, Jordan Mason's faster. He ate up the angle. He's able to get past him. Not only is he physical, not only are these guys doing a great job with the blocking scheme, but if you put him in a man-on-man situation, this dude can use his speed to get past you. It's a dangerous unit. You better put some respect on him. He's number 2 in the league for a reason.
You talked about eating up yards. He eats up his defenders. He has a chance to eat this week against a lesser Dallas Cowboys run defense, so something to keep an eye on. But speaking of feasting, speaking of eating, the Dallas Cowboys rookies had an opportunity to catch up with cafe momentum this week by hopping in the kitchen in downtown Dallas. We talked to Nicole Hutchison right after this.
This segment was brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
Every year, the Dallas Cowboys have an opportunity leading into the later weeks of the regular season to give back to the community in different ways throughout Salvation Army. Of course, Christmas coming up very quickly as well, the holiday season for all those that celebrate, but also an opportunity to give back to Cafe Momentum. Here's Nicole Hutchison with more.
The Cowboys rookies have been playing beyond their years so far on the football field, and that same maturity has translated off the football field. They spent a day at the Cafe Momentum this week, who partners with the Juvenile Justice Department and their mission, equipping justice-involved youth with life skills, education, and helping them find their passions to reach their full potential. Cowboys rookies were there to help be a part of that mission.
That's one of the things I found out just being a Dallas Cowboy in the short time that I have. Just talking to someone could make their day. Knowing that they're a Dallas Cowboy and talking to them, giving them your time and attention, just the little things like that mean the world to a lot of different people. And so to be able to come out here, like I said, is a blessing.
I think it's extremely inspiring because it gives them an alternative. It gives them a choice. Many of our interns that come in, they want to work. That's initially first, but the things that we provide in terms of the wraparound service, the continuous case management, the information that they need to get their IDs and just things that they need, and then the education piece, they see that it's just so much more.
They ask me like what motivates me each and every day to get up and do what I do. Me saving money and all that. It's just a lot of different conversations and stuff like that. So it's always a good opportunity to get in front of the youth and just talk to them, spend time with them, just steer them in the right direction.
Blockchain.com and the Dallas Cowboys donated $20,000 for a new classroom that included new desks and new chairs and so much more. And soon they'll launch a new financial literacy program over the next couple of years. Reporting here at Cafe Momentum, I'm Nicole Hutchison.
Thank you very much, Nicole. I talked with some of the Cowboys rookies after they made that trip, and they said it's one of the best events of the year because not only did they get to share stories, they got to share some pretty good food as well. Lots of fun always catching up with the Cowboys rookies and Cafe Momentum. When we come back, Barry, Isaiah, Nate rejoin me. We talk about the keys to a Cowboys win against San Francisco, looking to knock off the 49ers for the first time since 2020.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today. And to watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Special edition presented by AT&T was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Earlier in the week, Cowboys safety Marqueese Bell helping out supporting local animal rescues, including our very own Nate Newton, a couple of FAMU guys making an impact in Dallas-Fort Worth, Nate.
Just something to do during the bye week, man. He showed that he loved animals, and I like him too, but I mostly showed up for Marqueese and what his passion, that's animals.
It really was a great event. You could see all the happy dogs, all the happy people. Look at Nate having some, what is that? What do you got in your hand there?
That was a bone or something.
Some sort of toy or something.
For the dogs, man.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Marqueese Bell doing great work as well. Welcome back in to Special Edition. Isaiah, Barry, Nate. Isaiah, keys to the game. How do the Cowboys get it done this week?
Get it turnovers. You need some turnovers defensively. You need a spark on that side of the ball.
Yeah, like Isaiah said, as far as the turnovers defensively, offensively, take care of the football. You cannot give San Francisco an opportunity on a short field.
Stop the run. However way you have to do it. If you have to put an extra man in the box, stop the run. And I want to see Brock Purdy beat us with these backup wide receivers.
There you go. Got to force him to make some big throws. Now, Is it enough for the Cowboys to fall this week? Nate Newton, what's your prediction going into this week?
I really feel this right here, that if we can hold them up under 110 yards rushing, and we take this thing to the end, we'll probably be down by 2 points.
Yeah.
And that 71-yarder y'all been wanting, this thing going to break out there in their stadium. So get ready. Yeah.
Got it. Nate Newton with the win overall. Tough mountain to climb for the Cowboys this week. We'll see you next week on Special Edition.